Hi, my name is Dawood Shahid Basha Khadri. Today I am going to give a presentation on the topic disaster recovery plan. I am going to tell what is a disaster recovery plan and why do we need the disaster recovery plan, what are the importance of the disaster recovery plan. Now first, what is a disaster recovery? Disaster recovery is a plan for recovering of technology infrastructure critical to an organization after a natural or human induced disaster. Now, when you say natural or human natural disaster are like cyclones or thunderstorms with earthquakes where your whole organization or your whole building is gone in an earthquake and you have nothing else left, or your whole power cut is gone, the whole supply is gone. And human made disasters are few things like if your office is robbed, or the person who destroyed your office or something like that. Now, plans for disaster recovery. If something is destroyed, so how you're going to recover? What are the plans you should be doing there? First, risk analysis. Today you will be like the successful person, but tomorrow, unless and until you do some risk analysis on what might be a risk on your successfulness, you will be going to a failure if you don't do a proper risk analysis. So risk analysis is a very important factor for preventing a disaster. You should do a risk analysis how to prevent a disaster, what might be the reasons of the disaster. Say for example, in a country like Malaysia or Thailand where earthquakes are really very often thing to do, those type of countries is affected by natural disasters. So the organizations or the business persons, what they should be doing is they should be already pre-thinking what might be the reason. So this is the time where most of the earthquakes occur, so this is the time where the rainfall occurs and everything is going to get lost, so they'll be doing a risk analysis like that. So every business, every organization should put a risk analysis in the future, so what might be the risk affecting their business. Then establish the budget. Depending on the size of the organization, different organizations have different budgets. You can do a disaster recovery plan for your self-made business or for a huge organization like Microsoft or Apple. So different organizations have different budget. Plan your budget before you do any recovery plan. Then develop the plan. Disaster is not going to happen tomorrow. If you develop a plan now, it might happen after 10 years or might be tomorrow itself. So develop a plan. So what you have to be considered in the plan is prevention or precaution. Take precaution. You should be, if something is going to happen tomorrow or after a year, you should be prepared for that. 10. Suppose if something happened, then what you should be doing? You should be stick on to the plan. You should be applying the plan and you should be continually taking care of that plan. And finally, you do the recovery. So if the data is lost, you stick to the plan and recover the data. So this is how you should be doing it. Now, test every time. Even though if nothing has been lost, if no disaster has occurred, just pretend like something happened and test the plan what you have been kept for using when the time of disaster. So if disaster happens, you know exactly what has to be done. So keep on testing the plans. Now, what is the importance of the plan? The most importance of a disaster recovery plan is the backup. If there is no backup, then the whole organization is vanished in just one day, so that you don't have anything else left for you. So backup is very important factor. Something bad happens or anything happens, you should have a backup for that. Now, preventing risk for business failure. If it's just a small business and if something bad happens, a disaster occurs and there is no more business, it's gone because you don't have any backup. So preventing the risk of loss of business. So you back up yourself, so something bad happens, you can recover the whole data, you can start your business once again because you have the important information what is required to start your business once again. And reduce the risk of liabilities and penalties associated with regulatory compliance. So it reduces all these risks. And increasing employee productivity. If you have the backup of the data, if you have the enough information keeping up for you, then it increases the employee productivity and giving the business the peace of mind. This is the most important factor. because every time you'll be thinking if a disaster is going to happen, or if you're not going to thinking disaster is going to happen, something happens all of a sudden, then the peace of mind is completely gone. And if someone is calling you at the midnight and saying like there's been a disaster happen at the office, so you'll be like, okay, I have this plan, I can get the data back. So you'll be having that peace of mind for you every single time whenever a disaster happens. So a peace of mind is a major factor here. And also the cost, people should not be worrying about the cost, because at the end of the day they will not be having any business, or the whole organization will be vanished if any disaster happen, and if they don't have any data to start the organization once again or start the business again. So this is the importance of the plan. And now talking about the cost, as I already mentioned before, there are small businesses and huge organization. It depends on the organization, the size of the organization. The cost depends totally on the size there. If it's a small organization, the data recovery plan will be smaller. If it's a huge organization, then definitely the price will be high, but it's worth giving it a try. I would say it's worth actually applying it, because at the end of the day you have a peace of mind and you can concentrate on different other business perspectives rather than always thinking about the disasters which gonna happen in the future. So by this I'm concluding my presentation on disaster recovery plan. Thank you very much.